know you guys are journalists and you need to be objective, but if you want to, let's give a round of applause for George Amore's 800th assist. And I've been very fortunate to see every one of them. And so that's a lucky coach. But really, really good effort, really gritty effort. And sometimes in the SEC, you have to win that way. First quarter was, just really, I think we were all discombobulated. The clock, froze. And, I know we scored a couple of baskets and I looked up. I'm like, don't we have more than 9 points? And, so we were trying to find the scoreboard, whatnot. But we got that all rectified. And then, ironically, our defense kicked in. And I thought our defense was really good second, third, and fourth quarters. And, it wasn't always the prettiest. I thought we were a little bit off a little bit. Some of the balls that we normally grab and secure, we were tipping. But nonetheless, I thought we really came out. I thought Georgia was really good, handled situations very well. Hit 2 big threes. It really gave us some separation. Everybody stepped up and did something that played. I thought Deja Lawrence really was a catalyst when she went on her little stretch. I think we took the lead and didn't relinquish it. Clara Strack, bless her heart, I was yelling at her all night because she was tipping the basketball. And then I look up and she's got 14 points, 14 rebounds. And, so that's pretty good. And, and I thought Amelia was really good. Amelia's defense was really good, chasing people around, her length bothering Green. She got switched off on Barker sometimes and did a tremendous job. And then ST was really, really good. I'm so proud of ST. Yeah, she had to play 15 straight minutes in the first half. Hit a big three, had a nice layup. She did some hounding on the defensive end, and just her whole season has been maybe not exactly what she wanted, but she's done a tremendous job of just coming out and just really doing anything to get herself in good graces, and we're very, very happy for her.
Coach, Sarah asked you about she had 10 points in the first quarter, only scored 12 the rest of the way. Just how big is it for you all to be able to respond like that defensively?
She's a heck of a player. She is. She's a matchup nightmare because she's so big and strong. And we went through the line. I told her I had so much respect for her game. The fact that she had 36 against Vandy the game before, coming off of an injury, an ankle sprain. I think it was a high ankle sprain. But I thought we settled in with her. That first quarter, I think 2 of the threes that she got, we lost her. I think on an offensive rebound. And then she got a backdoor cut. We settled in, and Amelia was fantastic. I think Tiani was on her, for a bit of the time, but we did a really good job with her after that first quarter, and that's a tough task because she's a really good player.
Caroline Jenna Leary.
Georgia, you guys held Alabama well below their season game average for points per game. Where does it rank for you in terms of team-wide defensive performances this season?
Yeah, I think we definitely place emphasis on team level defense, and I remember in the third quarter Tiani was when you're put in a situation where you're fouling, it's hard to play solid defense, and I think that she let one go and she was so down on herself, and she said my bad, and we're like, no, it's our bad because we have to be better in the gaps, we have to be better in rotation. So we know that one-on-one matchups they're tough. You know me, a good one-on-one defender, or they're hard to come by. So we really understand that it's a team effort, and I think we take some pride and some joy in it. It makes us have momentum, and especially when you have, for me, shooters in transition, or you have Tiani running the floor, you have, Clara even brought it up some, he's kind of loosened the grip on transition this year than usual. So it gives us the opportunity to get it out and go, and we love it. We love having those opportunities where we clean up the boards and we just open up the floodgates.
So what are you trying to say?
No, we had transition. This is just the most exciting, I think, in terms of having people like Tiani and Clara. I've maybe had one player like that before, and that was my junior year, and that was Taylor Soule. That's as close as it's come. So it's very exciting to be able to turn our defense into offense in that term.
Georgia, so y'all are playing 5 ranked opponents in the last 8 games of the regular season. How do these super gritty and for majority of the game back and forth kind of games prepare you and the team mentally for those harder games?
And we'll focus on all 8 because we can focus on the 5 when they're ranked, but we have still good opponents in the mix, and if we look at that like they're not ranked, well then we're a step behind already. So I think our motto this season has just been who's up next, really. That's all you can really do because there's no fast forwarding, there's no rewinding. Every single game we go out there, we're confident, and that's what we came to Kentucky for. This is what we came to the SEC for. We want these matchups, and it just so happens that we do happen to have a tough stretch, but it should bring excitement for us.
Kenny, when early in the season you talked about that even when Tyler wasn't playing, she was doing some things at practice you felt was coming around and all. So what kind of made the light finally come on for her, or come on for you enough that you thought the light was on for her?
If I knew, I would bottle it up and I would sell it, and I wouldn't have to coach because I'd be really rich because everybody would want to buy it. But you're dealing with young people. You deal with young people, and obviously, her situation was difficult, and it's been well documented where I've talked about. It's very similar to what I had to go through. I had a coach who recruited me, and then he got fired, and then a new coach came in, and I had to learn a whole new system, whole new people, and that's what she had to do. And we play. I think I didn't see them play last year. I watched film, but I think we play differently. And every coach has their own system, and some of the things that they did last year, we don't do. And that's, we're very unique in what we do. And she's gritty, she's fast, she wants to get out and she wants to deny, and we don't do that. So it took her a long time to not only learn that, but learn a lot and learn how we play on the offensive end. And little by little, she's picking it up. And, needless to say, she is where we want her to be and continue. Well, we had practice the other day where, the Stay Ready group, the group that doesn't play a lot, they were scrimmaging, and we put the ball in her hand the whole time and made her go up and down and score, be the focal point of the offense like Georgia for like probably 8 straight minutes. And we were out there and we were all celebrating. She was making good plays and everybody was celebrating for her. They want her to be, a part of it, and she's starting to do it. But the biggest thing I can just say is her attitude has just been spectacular the whole time. She's never come in and had a bad attitude. She's never shied away from me, even if I've been grumpy or yelling at her. She still, she'll nestle up to me and give me 5 or something or say something silly. But we need her, and she's really performing. I'm very happy for her. I'm very happy for her.
John Brown, Sydney.
Kenny, your team is really versatile. They've won in a lot of different ways. How much fun? Maybe fun is not the right word.
It's
How
fun.
much fun
It's
is it
fun.
for a coach
Yeah,
to
it's fun.
kinda
It's
combine all these different ways?
if I allowed you to come to practice, yeah, you would see even more how fun it is. But they're so much fun to be around. They really are. And the way that they've morphed together and understood, and their personalities have meshed exceptionally well. They find a way. They figure it out. And she's exactly right. I pull the reins back more this year than I ever have, and allowing her to just go dictate what's going to happen because, we can score in a variety of ways. We can put the basketball in her hands. We can allow her to dictate what happens. We can throw it to Clara Strack. She can dictate what happens. Tiani Key can come down the court, and, she's revving up to really attack the basket. And, there's Deja Law, who can really go for, 30 if she really got going. And then there's Amelia, and so I don't know what this means, but it just seems like the last 5 coaches that we played, they say you guys are so much fun to watch, and they're so much fun to be around, and I think they're going to continue to get better, and if we can continue to get better, and February is good to you, and you learn from what you're going to go through, I think we got a great shot at being a really good basketball team, and that's all you want as you head into March.
Georgia, this is for you. 800 assists. As a point guard, true point guard, what does that mean to you?
I'm doing my job pretty well. I'm definitely getting put in positions where, maybe early on, it was kind of set. We ran sets and it was, you have 2 options, just made my life a lot easier. Pick one or the other. But now I think the more I've grown and been put in situations and making reads and just growing up, intellectually, and this year it's been different. I've had different defenses thrown at me. Early in the season it was hard hedges and full court press. Now people are switching and putting long guards on me. So it's a challenge, but it's fun every night to be able to blitz up a defense. And I think it just, for us, opens everything because no team has been consistent really in being able to yet really halt us, because I think we find a way, and that's why it's so fun to play with this team, because everyone finds a way, So I think it's just been really fun to come here to play with a bunch of great girls who make shots and make my life a lot easier.
Sierra Jenna.
Coach, could you just talk about, you mentioned how Tiana King, she's a big key in everything, and then when she got into early foul trouble, just working through that with the players that you had on the floor. Can you just talk about what they did well, not leaning on Tiana King?
Yeah, everyone understands that if we don't have one piece of it, then somebody else has to step up and and not try to do anything outside of themselves, but maybe it's a focus a little bit more. Maybe we have to guard a different person, and that's where ST came in, and she did a really good job. And she was running around, and she was guarding Green sometimes, and it felt like Green had almost a foot, on her in height. But she battled down inside, made it tough for her, and really just held it down for us until we could put Tiani back in and we can get our rotation back in order. So everyone's ready to go. Everyone's ready to go, step up, and I know that we talk about benches and whatnot, and this time of the year, I did my research, and a lot of people are playing 7. A lot of people, but we'd like to go a little bit deeper. Foul trouble kind of dictated, some other things, but a lot of people stepped up, and ST was one of those kids.
Jenna.
So 500th program win inside the historic Memorial Coliseum. What does that mean to you and the future of this program?
That's a tough question because obviously we've only been around for 20 games, and we've been around. We were fortunate to be at Virginia Tech where there's been some success. I was actually at James Madison when we won our 1,000th win, and so but to understand to have that many, and obviously with the Title IX just being implemented in I think maybe early 80s, it was 80 maybe. It just goes to show you the growth of women's sports, giving more opportunities for women that they so deserve, and but to know that Kentucky has been doing it for a while, long enough to get 800 wins in this building, and that's one of the things. Coach Curry came up to me and she said, "This building looks wonderful," and so I have to look at it vicariously through everyone else's eyes because I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but I think it's a spectacular venue for women's basketball, and to have that many wins, I think that it puts you in a category that you're serious about women's basketball. So I think that's going to bode well for our future as we continue to raise it. Players like Georgia, they make Kentucky cool. The fact that you won 500 games makes Kentucky cooler, and that's going to bode well for you as you recruit and you go after some of the highest recruits. And now that's going to be very special for us. So it's really we don't take it for granted, and you appreciate the people who came before you. And for me, I'm learning the people who came before us, and we want to make sure that they're a special part to our future. We want to make sure. I think the most dominant one that I met was Valerie Stills, and we're looking forward to meeting all of them. Because they are a part of that history.
Last question for us.
Coach, you said at the beginning of SEC play, Cassie and Snyder were going to help you guys out in ways that you didn't know about with the experience in the conference. As you get to kind of the center of the schedule now in the conference, how do you feel like they've made a difference this far?
Well, I mean, Cass has done a really good job, navigating things very early. ST, we kind of got on ST the other day, and I said, you're the most experienced SEC player out here. You know more than I do. You know more than Georgia. You know more than anybody else. You've been through it all. So you have to become a leader. You can't just sit here and be a follower. You need to be at the forefront. When we go to venues and we've never been there before, I want you to get off the bus first and show us where to go. Just everything that we need her to do, because her experience is valuable. And I don't care, maybe they didn't have as much team success as they wanted to last year, but she averaged 10 points a game in this league. So you're very valuable, and we need you. And I also told her, this is your 3rd year in college. It's not like you're a freshman; it's your 3rd year in college. So you need to become more of a vocal leader, and that's going to help us as we navigate through the next few games. So, but they've both done a tremendous job. They both wanted to be here. They both wanted to stay and be a part of this situation. And you can't put a premium on kids who want to be here. You want kids who want to be here, and the way that they exude love for Kentucky, it helps us understand a little bit better what Kentucky is all about.
Thank you all. Our next home game is February 13th against Texas.
Thank you.
Go Cats!
Thank you, guys.